What's up, gamers? The Red Dragon here, and we are checking out Transformers Fall of Cybertron. Now, this is the latest in a series of games by High Moon Studios, and one of the first things that I always get asked, or I'm always actually asking in a game in a series is, should I have played the other ones in order to figure out what's going on with this game? And the answer is no. This game is totally standalone. You'll figure out what's going on, and you know, every year you have those surprise games that really jump out at you and you weren't expecting good or great, but you end up getting it. For me, Transformers Fall of Cybertron ended up being a great game that I wasn't expecting. I've played past Transformer games in the past. I felt that they were kind of bland, didn't really have anything interesting to give. This game, it really delivers everything. And I've never been a real big follower of Transformers. I loved it as a kid. I got all the toys. I watched the cartoons. But I never really got into it like big time like some people do. I can't tell you exactly what's going on with all the characters. But I've always wanted a game that kind of recreated that moment from whenever I was a kid, that you saw those Transformers warping into vehicles and everything and just causing mayhem and havoc. And with this game, you definitely get that. So let's begin by taking a look at the campaign, which is the biggest part of this title, at least for me. Now, as you play through, each level is already kind of predetermined for you. So you start out the level and you have a particular Autobot or Decepticon that you're playing as. Now, each Transformer has their own unique abilities. So the levels are really designed around that particular Transformer's strength. So you're going to go through here and you're going to experience lots of different ways to play, and different experiences, different Transformers. Some missions you're going to be just battling it out, just hammering people, you know, hand-to-hand combat or with your guns. Some levels you might be playing stealthy, some levels you might be sniping or even flying. So you're going to get a really good variety as you play, and the pace just stays with the game throughout. So there's no really long marks where there's like really long cutscenes where it really drags out. And you know, if you're at a point where there's not a lot of action, you can transform into that jet or you can transform into that car and speed away, and the ability to transform back and forth is completely up to you, the player. So if you want to play on the ground, you want to play as the I guess the soldier version, then you can do that. Or if you want to transform and use the unique ability, whether it's a vehicle or a helicopter or whatever, then you can do that as well. And it's really up to you how you want to play. Now, within most third-person shooters, there's usually some type of cover system or something, but Transformers, there is none. But it really doesn't detract or take away from the game whatsoever. There's ways to dodge, there's ways to get behind elements, there's plenty of objects within the levels to get behind to regenerate your health or to take cover if you need to. So there's really no reason to have a cover system. The controls themselves feel really good, and like I said, some Transformers have different abilities. So one level, one button might do out a shockwave, and another level it might do something else. So you kind of have to get used to that, which that's the only downside to playing as different Transformers and having different abilities. But I mean, walk is walk and shoot is shoot, so it's not like it's going to mess you up that much. You're just going to have to kind of remember which special ability your Transformer has that you're playing with. The only real complaint or criticism that I have during the gameplay was that I was playing on the Xbox, and there were times where there was so much action and things going on the screen where it was like the game would have to stop and load up a little bit. Now, that sounds horrendous, and trust me, it is, because it totally took away, you know, that pace that I was talking about that's so important when it comes, for me, at least when playing single-player games. But I'll be honest with you, it didn't happen but maybe 2 or 3 times during the course of the entire game for me. So I don't know if that happens on the PS3, but for me, that was one complaint that I do have, is sometimes there was so much going on screen that it just couldn't keep up. Now, one more element that I thought was important to the campaign was it almost has this RPG style aspect to it, where if you go through and you're beating enemies, you're going to receive this type of coinage or currency, and there's these stores located all around the levels. So each level you can go in there, and it's kind of weird on one hand because you're in the middle of a battle, but you can go jump into the store But on the other hand, it's pretty cool because you can upgrade your weapons that you have. You can get new perks, and these perks, they stay without you throughout the rest of the campaign. So even though you might be going on to a different level, playing as a different Transformer, you'll still have that same perk attached to your characters. Now this adds a level of replayability because you can go through and upgrade certain elements on one playthrough and upgrade totally different ones on another one, so you can kind of get used to that. If I did have to give you a tip or advise you, I would say kind of try to focus on your favorite weapon to begin with, because if you try to spread it out, a lot of this stuff is kind of expensive because it does stay with you out throughout the campaign. So you need to kind of focus on what you like about it and kind of work on building that up instead of kind of spreading your money thin, and by the end of it you could end up having a really nice upgraded weapon at the end of the campaign, whereas if you try to just kind of build up several different weapons, you're not going to really have one super weapon. You'll just have a lot of good, decent ones. So it's kind of up to you how you want to play, but the replayability factor, I believe it's definitely there because you can go back and play different styles. Now, if you were hoping to play through the campaign with one of your friends, you are going to be disappointed. Campaign co-op was a feature in past Transformers games, but it's no longer in this version. But the experience that you get through the single-player campaign, I think, makes up for that lack of ability. And look, if you want to jump on and you want to play with your friends, there's definitely ways to do that. They have escalation mode, which is like a horde mode where you can play with up to 4 of your friends and fend off swarms of enemies. They also have straight up multiplayer. They've got Team Deathmatch, Conquest, Capture the Flag, and Headhunter. And Headhunter's pretty much like Confirmed Kill for Call of Duty. And all of these are really engaging and put together really well. Good balance, good in-depth customization. You can pretty much build your favorite Transformer, or you can customize your own unique one and take it into battle and show it off. So it's really fun. You've got a solid campaign, a solid storyline, solid gameplay in offline and online, and overall this is going to be one of my surprises of 2012, definitely, because this game wasn't one that I planned on enjoying as much as I did, but it was a pleasant surprise. You know, as I close this out, I know everybody expects a number whenever they watch a review or something, but I'm not really a numbers guy, because if this looks like something you would enjoy, then you're probably going to like it. And if it looks like it's horrendous to you, then you're not going to like it. So it's based on you as a player and what you enjoy. Is it going to take over my life for the next 6 months? No. But it's definitely a pick-me-up game, and something that I thoroughly enjoyed running through the campaign. And I also enjoyed jumping on the multiplayer a little bit. So hopefully I gave you enough information and showed you enough gameplay where you can make that decision on your own, but it would definitely be something that I would recommend checking out if it looks like it's interesting to you, and especially if you're a Transformers fan. If you're a Transformers fan, you're diehard, this is a must-get for you. So that does it for me, The Red Dragon. I appreciate you watching until the end. Please give me a like, a comment. Let me know below what your favorite Transformer was as a kid, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.